everyone. Welcome to the Monroe County Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for joining us today. As a reminder, we always start with the Chamber vision to foster innovation and collaboration. For those of you that don't know, I'm Matt Buds, and I get to say for the first time I'm not here in any official chamber capacity. I have passed the torch, and my term on the board is over, but I'm much thankful for the opportunity, and I'm here today as one of the sponsor partners, a cornerstone partner on behalf of my firm, Moore Buds Law, sponsor for today's event, which I'll say a bit in just a moment. We'd also like to thank Mike Trapp with the River Raisin Center for the Arts for hosting us, and Derek Arnold with River Raisin Security and Technology for helping the Chamber film and live stream our event today. As a reminder of upcoming Chamber events, please mark your calendars for Thursday, February 4th, a Back to Basics series kickoff for the Chamber. Learn the numbers that drive your business and your preparation, and there'll be more to come on that in your email. And on Wednesday, February 17th, another new Chamber program, the continuation of the Chamber's Book Club. Please contact the Chamber for more information on any of those events. We'd like to acknowledge our Chamber board members that are here in attendance today, Eric Bennett with the Mannequin Smith Group, and Drew Lindecker with Creative Promotions. We thank them for their service to the Chamber. We also want to acknowledge new Chamber partners that are in attendance. We have T-Mobile for Business, I think, perhaps with us today. And we thank them for their joining the Chamber. Also, we'd like to acknowledge our event sponsors, because without them, these events could not occur. I'll say just a few words on behalf first of Lazy Boy and DT Energy. They were not able to attend with us today, but as always, we thank them for their continued support and everything they've been doing in the community, both in COVID and just in general, as they are, I'll say, strong partners for the community and especially for the Chamber. I'd also like to give the opportunity from the Monroe County Community Credit Union. We have Kate Hall to say a few words about what's happening at the credit union.
Excellent. Thank you, Matt. I'll be very brief because we have a lot of exciting things to learn about this morning. But at the credit union, we are very optimistic that this is going to be a better year for everyone. And we have a lot of exciting new faces joining us at the credit union. So I would appreciate, as a business community, if you see them out and about, just please welcome them with open arms, because we're very excited to have them. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Kate and the credit union. Our next series sponsor that will be speaking today from the Mannequin Smith Group is Eric Bennett.
Thanks, Matt. And as always, we're excited to be here. Just wanted to thank Michelle, even though she said we're not allowed to thank Chamber staff today because we're on a tight budget, but for time. But no, what her and Steve have been doing here over the last several months, as Matt said, I am on the executive board for the Chamber. It's amazing. We've responded, reacted. We're here today, and we've been talking for about 2 years about trying to do live or virtual events so we could have other people attend. And you know what, when COVID happens, all of a sudden you figure out how to do it. So we talked about it for about 2 years, and now we're here today. We got people watching us live from their offices. So for everybody here, appreciate the time and everybody being here. We've got a lot of our clients here today, which is one of the big reasons we're excited to be here and be able to participate. But as far as Mannequin Smith, we've, 2020 was kind of an okay year. We got through the year, adjusted, working with a lot of you on your project, that came up, and some of them we're meeting virtually over Zoom meetings. Some we're still meeting in person and social distancing, trying to deliver high quality projects through a time in which communication really became a challenge. So just like the Chamber, at Mannequin Smith, we've adapted a lot of new approaches and ways of doing business, and trying to deliver the same Mannequin Smith that we've always had. So, but since I have everyone's attention, I just wanted to make a couple announcements with Mannequin Smith. We've been in Monroe for 32 years, and Barry Bushman's not here today. Hopefully he's skiing up north, but many of you know Barry. He's starting to trend towards retirement. We still have him 3 days a week, and we're very, very thankful for that. He's got a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience with all of you. But we also have a lot of other people that have been stepping up and taking additional roles and responsibilities. So if you haven't seen, Chris Zangara was promoted to a senior associate and vice president shareholder within the organization here as January 1st. So Chris has been with us a long time. He's going to do good things and continue to take on more responsibilities, not only in our Monroe operation, but corporately. And then we've got Brad Bice sitting in the audience today. Brad was promoted to an associate, but doing a lot of work with the townships, our construction services side of things, and our operations of our Monroe office. And then Mark Matthey is taking on a lot of the responsibility of Barry, along with several of us in the Southeast Michigan Municipal Services team leader role. So it's crazy to think that Mark's been here a decade already and working with a lot of us, because he seems like he's been here even longer than that. But so you'll continue to see all of us around, continue to see Manikin Smith. I'm sure Barry will be at the next event, but we're excited to be here and thankful for the opportunity to see a few people in person. So that's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Our next sponsor that will have a moment to speak is Tom Myers from First Merchants Bank, one of our silver sponsors for today's event.
Thanks, Matt. I just want to take a moment this morning and acknowledge many of the employees at First Merchants Bank. They are in the midst right now of processing PPP loans. That's the, for those of you who may not be familiar with that program, Payment Protection Program. It's a very labor-intensive process. I know some of you perhaps in this that are watching this have applications in. We're very glad to do that. We're very glad to be a part of it. But it is a program that's administered by the SBA and the federal government, so you may guess that it's somewhat labor-intensive and not always logical. But in any event, our staff, a lot, are spending a great deal of their time over this week, and I'm sure for the next several weeks, processing those applications. So for those of you that are our customers, we appreciate that. But if some of the staff is a little bit slow in getting back to you over these next couple of weeks, that's the reason why.
Thank you. Again, we'd also like to thank other sponsors that could not be with us today, ITC Holdings and Adele Piscaris, we believe attending by live stream today, along with Comcast and Kyle Mazurik, and James S. Jacobs Architects Jim, not able to join us today. And as always, we say it couldn't be a coffee club without coffee, so we thank our breakfast sponsor, Tim Hortons. We would like to acknowledge our other elected officials that are with us today, other than our esteemed panel that will be speaking here in just a moment. We have our Monroe County Sheriff with us, Troy Goodenough. Thank you for being here. And our District 8 Monroe County Commissioner, Greg Moore Jr., joining us as well. We'd like to thank our Chamber Ambassadors, a group of business people sharing a contagious passion and committed to helping deliver remarkable experiences for the Chamber. Hopefully you were greeted by either Derek Rush with Aflac or Barbara Kruger from the Monroe County Library Systems. We'd like to thank them for their continued participation with the Chamber. I did, as sometimes happens, didn't say a few words about myself, even though I said I would during the sponsor period, so I'll keep it very brief. More Bud's Law has been in existence since July of the past year. All of you know that I've been around town for about 13 years prior to that. It's been a great transition. We've been so happy with what we've been able to accomplish, and it seems like it just happened in the last few weeks, and also seems like it's been forever all at the same time. So for those that know, obviously we have a partnership with the City of Monroe and the Port of Monroe in handling some matters for them, obviously. So I'll try not to take too much time away from our first speaker and just say that we're happy to serve the business and the municipal community here in Monroe County. With that, we'll move on to what you're all really here to hear about today, and that's our speakers. And I will introduce each of them in order when it's their time to speak. Our first speaker, and I won't give a whole lot of introduction to any of these folks because I think they're known to almost all of you who are watching. First, from the City of Monroe is Mayor Robert Clark.
Thank you, Matt. It's a pleasure to be here, and great to see those here, and of course, welcome those that are listening in. Well, 2020 has been a challenging year, to say the least, but we want to talk about what's been accomplished in 2020, but also looking forward to 2021. So I'll just get to it. North Telegraph Road project, the former Lazy Boy site. Demolition, removal, and site preparation were completed. First phase of the infrastructure installed, sewer, water, and the main road leading into the project. The developer purchased the adjoining property to the south on North Telegraph Road. Demolition, removal, and site preparation was completed. The previous and new investors have re-engaged with the developer and were committed to the commercial and retail business this year. Also, which is significant, is the housing developer has been committed and moving forward with that project with housing in the back portion of the project. You know, the City of Monroe, the City Council established the Telegraph Road Corridor Improvement Authority to coordinate the future development along Telegraph Road. This was an outcome of the Telegraph corridor study that Monroe, City of Monroe, the Monroe Township, Frenchtown Township with SEMCOG funding were able to complete. Moving on to the downtown and the update, there's been major rehabilitation downtown. Some project buildings were completed. I'll note one, which of course Monroe Currency, Coin Currency, which was on the East Front Street, moved to the West Front Street, completely rehabilitated an old facility. Upstairs is a residence, upper floor residence completed for them. The former Tourism Bureau buildings have been repurposed. Here soon, within a month, there'll be probably 2 new businesses which also have their information forward. There's multiple projects already in the works for 2021, so we look at more redevelopment and businesses. For those that haven't noticed, there's at least 7 new buildings or businesses in the downtown area. So if you haven't, please come down, walk through, and patronize those facilities. I want to thank everybody for their continued support to the downtown businesses and all the businesses through the challenge of the past year in providing support, but also the restaurants as well. I do want to jump out to the commercial park, the industrial park, because of the manufacturing expansion. Backyard storage on Turnus Drive expanded 200,000 square feet, $3 million investment, $1.2 million of equipment upgrades, and 15 to 20 new jobs. Capital improvements seem to be the priority with the council through the year, and while we only had about $1.1 million in street projects and reconstruction, we recognize the importance moving in here to 2021. While Harrison, Toll Street, and North Dixie, the north portion, were completed, we recognize there's going to be increased needs on the streets and repairs. And of course, we also recognize what the future declines of our revenue will be with the changes in 2020. So the administration and the city council recognized and immediately went to the residents, as we've done in the past, for projects that are important and importance to make sure that we get things done correctly. A street millage was proposed and placed on the November ballot, which was approved by the voters, which we are greatly thankful for, that we can meet the expectations of what they're looking for in reconstruction of our roads. So in 2021, because of the millage, there'll be an additional $1.8 million spent on street projects. That's 5 projects, sidewalk replacement, as well as discussion on our non-motorized bike, pedestrian, and trails. But the priority is the streets. This is including to the $1.3 million of our regular funds that we'll be expending on projects. So the project coming from the street millage proposal will be Riverview, West Noble, East Elm, North Dixie, and of course our downtown complex by the Government Plaza, the South Macomb, East 2nd, Washington. This is included with there'll be an addition of the $3.6 million in underground infrastructure being done. So this is our notice to everybody: be prepared for 2021. It will be a challenge to get around, but it'll be well worth the time and effort as we move forward. Associated capital improvements is also our community development in the Arthur Leslie Community Center and our partnership with the Opportunity Center at ALCC and our partnership with the MCOP. Projects completed this past year where the commercial kitchen was redone, the refurbishing of the gym, the front entrance, and the outdoor plaza. Next door to that, of course, is Labor Park, which is in tune with the council's Parks Master Plan. This can be completely redone as well, and that's the community center for our Orchard East. This year coming forward, we're going to establish a sub-area plan for the Winchester corridor and for the further development around not just the ALCC in the center, but the entire neighborhood. Which brings me to my final topic, which of course is the River Raisin National Battlefield Park. While you would think it would have been a very quiet year, they've actually had more visitors in the past year, despite the fact that the buildings were not open. And how that comes to be is because not only in our community, but community in the region, people were looking for outdoor activities, recreational and cultural visits. So that's where a majority of the visits came, but they also moved forward with numerous virtual education programs and services. The redevelopment out at the National Park. 40,000 square feet has been completely redone. Over 120-seat theater has been put in. 550 exhibits are completed, many Native American, from the log house, the canoes, the French trading post, murals, artwork, and artifacts. As I finish my last 10 seconds, I want you to know that there's 22 political subdivisions, 80 federal recognized national tribes, and nonprofits in this over $3 million of work done within the national park. Please come visit. It'll be open here soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our next speaker from the City of Luna Pier will be Mayor James Gardner.
Thank you, Matt. It has been a challenging year, to say the least. It's a great time to be the mayor of the City of Luna Pier. I can still say that. Early on, we noticed a significant increase in the number of visitors we had. It would be, I'm not going to dwell on the pandemic, but it would be remiss if we didn't just acknowledge that that was a significant part of everything that happened in our community, starting with the number of visitors to Luna Pier. As people canceled plans to travel, they all came to our backyard to play, which we liked that. It was a little bit of a challenge. People were very well behaved. Our police reported very few problems out there, and it was a great place. It was a good spring for walleye fishing on the pier, and just a good place to get out and have those cleansing UV rays coming down with your sunscreen on. It was a safe place to visit. We were very proud to host that many people. Our challenge now and this year going forward is now we have the visitors. Let's give them something to spend their money on. The Chateau Louise is one of our restaurants. You may have read in the Monroe News a story of how they expanded their outdoor seating area, as did the Beach Cafe and our local restaurants, doing carry-out. Live music still went on in Luna Pier. It was a good place to be. The ladies at the Chateau, Nancy and Scarlett, are still remodeling the inside of the area while they were shut down to indoor dining. They made good use of that time, and we really look forward to that opening up again very soon here. You may have noticed the Pier Plaza as you come into town. Joe Bazinski recently bought that property and has made significant improvements there. We see more businesses moving in. The Pier Inn right behind there, another really right at our gateway to the city. Danny Talwar bought that, refurbished it inside and out. It's a new place. You wouldn't recognize it from before. It's a great place to stay. I would recommend that to anybody to stay there, and I couldn't always make that recommendation, but he has really done a remarkable job there cleaning that up. We started the food drive in cooperation with the MCOP and the Gleaners this year, something new for us that we carried on for most of the year. We will be carrying that on into through this year too. Work is continuing on our one medical marijuana facility. Materials are being delivered this week to continue construction of a building there. They had some setbacks, but the project is ongoing, along with the Harborside Senior Care Center, a project that was stalled through 2020. There's been a lot of progress there on the inside. It's being completely redone. We're looking forward to that project opening soon. When you look at our lighthouse, we have a significant challenge there, but a great opportunity, and we have been making very good progress. Our elevator has been delivered. We're going to be installing that. The inside, a lot of work has been done on the inside of that you don't see from the outside, but we hope to have that venue open. We were able to work throughout the shutdown on that, so when things clear up, we're going to have a great venue there. The steps are in, the elevator will be there. We'll have a great venue like none other in the area, with the view out over Lake Erie, the view to the beach, to the pier there. We are looking forward to that. We did have to cancel our Freedom Festival this year. We were sorry to do that, but we just couldn't carry on with that. We do plan to resume that as soon as possible. We may do something this year. It's hard to say. It's a large financial commitment to make at this point with all the uncertainties. But we're going to try to keep that going, do a soft restart of it this year. If you've been to Luna Pier, we invite you to our farmers market. That has been a great success. It is getting busier, and we have the customers there. We're looking for more vendors to give them something to spend their money on again this year. So we are really looking forward to 2021, opening things up, getting past the problems of the past, and moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be the Assistant Village Manager for the Village of Dundee. That's Sarah Carl.
Good morning. I'm Sarah Carl, here on behalf of Dave Ewell in the Village of Dundee. I'm very excited to tell you all about the village. There's been $20 million in development over the last year throughout the village, spearheaded by a number of projects in no particular order. So Bell Estates is currently in production of 94 luxury apartments with 144 more on the way for a total of 526 when all finished. They're 90% full. Dairy Queen is about 2/3 complete. Dave wants me to remind you all that let's get ready for a blizzard. There have been 40 home permits issued in just the past 2 months. The developers are selling the homes so fast right now that they can barely keep up. FCA Chrysler relocated the Mack Avenue plant this past year from Detroit to Dundee. That brought with it over 700 new jobs to the village. Several developers are currently looking at properties within our industrial park. We're very hopeful that we'll be able to announce a number of those to you all very soon. There's also several electric new car charging stations that will be put throughout the village. We've partnered with Cabela's and DTE to place a number of fast charging stations or quick charging stations at Cabela's store. Village Council just okayed a new social district, giving residents and businesses a much needed opportunity and outlet to be able to participate with the businesses outside and enjoy time with one another again. Monday, we'll start on the construction of the 5-acre Viking Park as part of the DNR grant that was received just, I think, the end of December, beginning of January. We also have started on a new green space to be located behind the restaurants along M50. And we hope that you'll all come visit the hub of the communities and the highways very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is the Supervisor of Monroe Charter Township. That's Alan Barron.
I heard that, Paul. Morning. Thank you, Matt. I am Alan Barron. I've been the supervisor of Monroe Charter Township for 28 years, 2 months, and 6 days. This is my 8th four-year term, and Bob, definitely, positively, for sure, my last term. I know that announcement's probably getting a standing ovation somewhere. Thank you to the Chamber for hosting this annual event, even in these uncertain times. In closing, I'm from Monroe Charter Township, and in case you haven't heard, there's nothing going on in our township. The first question would normally come from our friend Jim McDivitt, but this year is probably more likely to come from Paul, and it's too bad Dave's not here because I was ready for him too. No, we still don't have a damn hardware store in Monroe Charter Township, but we will soon have something that none of you have, so ha-ha. Before I talk about that, let me first mention some other positives going on in Monroe Township. There were 7 new house permits issued in 2020. Obviously, they're all going into Dundee, which is 4 less than last year. 7 new small businesses opened, in what had been empty spaces or buildings. They include luscious bath, bomb, boutique. You probably don't want to talk about that one on an airplane. Wildflowers Hair Lounge, clean aquariums, sky-high tobacco and vapes, complete home comfort, Mortgage One, and Boudry Lawn Care Service. They all occupied what were empty buildings or spaces. Recently, our Planning Commission approved a $2,042,000 project at Monroe County Community College, which is in Monroe Township, including remodeling 11 classrooms, 3 lecture halls, and IT for labs in the Life Science Building. If you've not seen some of these improvements, you are in for a surprise. All I can say is just wow. Pirates Cove Storage on South Telegraph Road is near completion of their $750,000 project. And just recently, this is some exciting news, a building permit for $1.1 million was issued to renovate one of the buildings at the La Pleasance Road Mall. This past November, $2 million proposal for our fire department was passed. This is the only additional millage Monroe Charter Township assesses. We have not increased our operating millage in 15 years. This month, our board approved the purchase of a $1.5 million aerial truck to replace the current 1988 model. The fire department is also working on a plan to have more personnel at the fire station in order to improve our response times. Last year, our fire department answered 2,185 calls. We are a volunteer fire department. Also in May, we lost one of our own, Captain Joe Liedel, and I would really like to thank the many residents of the city and the county for their support of his family. The parade through town from the funeral home to the cemetery was amazing. Many thanks to our fire department as well as all the first responders and frontline workers for the enormous task that they've responded to during this crisis. I know my daughter is a respiratory therapist, and I've heard a lot of stories. My time up, Matt? Good, stay 6 feet away from me. Well, there is one other thing going on, marijuana. In November of 2019, Monroe Charter Township did not opt out with the state to allow recreational and medicinal marijuana businesses. Cannabis, marijuana, weed, Mary Jane, ganja grass, whatever you want to call it. What, do they still call them doobies? In fact, on December 10th of 2019, I stood up here and spoke on the topic and stated that our Planning Commission, our Ordinance Committee, with the involvement of our township attorney, would be working on an ordinance to regulate these budding businesses. But before continuing, I have to set up a timeline here because our board and our Planning Commission have been accused of disenfranchising our residents. So not true. The majority of the Monroe Charter Township residents who voted in 2018 were in favor of the marijuana initiative. I will tell you, I was not one of them. On July 6th of 2020, a public hearing of the Planning Commission and the ordinance was held in person. 7 people were in the audience. On July 21st, the Township Board held its first of 2 public hearings on the proposed ordinance. 21 people were at the meeting. There were no public comments regarding marijuana. The August 18th Township Board meeting, the required second public hearing, 46 people were in attendance. Again, no public comments regarding marijuana. During the planning process of our ordinance from January through July, I received no negative correspondence. But because of a minor technicality by our new clerk, the first public hearing of the ordinance was to be published in a newspaper of general circulation, which is the Monroe News, and she did not do that. But it was posted on our website, which is certainly more accessible than to the number of residents who get the newspaper. Besides, the website is free. Personally, I've never tried marijuana, recreational or medical, but I will admit it's on my bucket list with a question mark. I have it right next to, right after skydiving from an airplane without a parachute. But I would never say never. If I were to have some medical health or health issues when I get old, notice I said when I get old, I cannot say I would not use it. Anyway, Monroe Township is now correcting its error, and we're with a couple of months of passing a new ordinance. And I believe there is going to be another article in the newspaper. I see you moving there, Matt, regarding that. But enough about marijuana. Anyone is welcome to email my office for any comments or clarification. So in closing, may God keep each of us safe, and may we give thanks for the great things he's done for our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker, the supervisor of Frenchtown Township, Al Van Washenova.
Thank you, guys, and bear with me, first time with this. I'm born and raised in Frenchtown Township. We live on our Centennial Farm, so I'm a dirt guy, okay? I've been on the board for 4 years previous to this. With me is Gary Clems. He's our new trustee. He's going to help me with this. In addition to Gary, we have Chris Collins, Christian Carlton, and Matt Remmel. We have all new board members. So we're starting out with a crash course in the vision, and what the new board and we have put together is for the township is a relationship with the residents of business and industry and agriculture. We want to prove this. We want to expand this, you know. Some of the goals that we are setting is new economic development committees, government relations. We want to work with our neighboring people and our neighboring townships. You know, we want to be a little bit, you know, in our thought, a little more friendly with everybody. Our planning commission has 2 new people, Don Abrams and Chris Collins. Their goals is to attract new business and stuff that the residents and that would like to see in the township. So they're very excited and to move forward with that. One of our other goals is to, on our building department, we feel we want to create a better image. We want to develop, you know, for developers, industry to come to our area, and we want to have a more open dialect with them. We want to, again, reiterate is we want to be a very good partner to our neighbors. We want to be in our township. We are Monroe County people. I mean, we're Frenchtown, but we're a team. And the way we want to look at this is a team moving forth for everybody. You know, recent activities is basically all of us is learning our new jobs. So it's going to take a little bit, and we'll get there. I kind of explain it like you throw us in the water in the middle of the lake and we swim to shore, and none of us know how to swim. So, but we'll get there. The thing we've done is we've we made a committee. We took recycling out of from our residents due to the fact of the cost and the changing of what we can recycle. We are going to develop, much like Monroe has as a recycling collection center. So we're going to be doing that and looking to everybody else for some things. I'm going to have Gary talk on a couple things with us too. He's on our RDA. So Gary, you want to?
Good morning. Thank you, Al. Again, my name's Gary Clems, and my past history, I was the owner of Baker's Gas and Welding Supply, which I've transitioned over to my 2 daughters, and then I was also a member of Frenchtown Fire Department for 34 years, and now I'm ready to take on my new challenge as the new township trustee and help Al and the team move Frenchtown forward and making it a safe, friendly place to live. And I think I also was asked to talk about the new development here in Frenchtown. We had 39 building permits issued for new single-family homes in 2020, which was slightly down from the 46 issued in 2019, but we believe this is the result of COVID. There appears to be continued strong demand for new development in the township. Circle K is developing a new gas station at North Monroe Street and Cole Road, right in the front of the old Kmart parking lot. Simon Z Market, including a new gas station, will be built on North Dixie Highway near the Sterling State Park entrance. Fetter Steel is expanding their facility on North Telegraph Road. Margot's Garden Center opened on North Telegraph Road, providing landscape supplies, shrubs, and mulch. The former J&L golf cart business on North Monroe Street was remodeled for the use as a mobile home supply sales business. Frenchtown has also entered into a purchase agreement to sell Lot 10 of the Frenchtown Business Park for a recreational business planned for the miniature golf, batting cages, and family fun. That's going to be right across from the Sterling State Park. This lot is located at the intersection of North Dixie and Sandy Creek. We also have another big development in Frenchtown that we're very proud of is the Insight development for the new 1 million square foot Ford distribution facility at Telegraph and Newport Road on the old Nike base property. There are additional 2 lots along Telegraph Road that will be developed in the future. Also, one of my new job assignments that Al assigned myself and Chris Collins from the Township Board Trustees to join the Resort District Authority as the new members. Larry Smith was appointed as the Resort District Authority Director for 2021. He continues to do a great job for the RDA and the township in this role in representing our beach communities in the district. As far as the board, the Resort District Board, Molly Lumpert-Coy is still the chairman. Myself is the new vice chairman. Brian Dotson is the new treasurer. Don Rushlow is the secretary. Carrie Bondi is the legal advisor. The RDA is also has an aggressive road program to maintain their road system, and they also have an asset management plan. We are midway through a multi-year plan for pavement repairs and microsurfacing with the 2021 project in Stony Point Beach. The RDA continues to evaluate our dikes along Lake Erie and provide regular inspections. They are currently evaluating our next improvement project that will continue along the shores of Stony Point Peninsula. There will also be improvements to the existing pumping stations by the Monroe County Drain Commission office, which maintains the entire drainage system in the Resort Authority. Under a Chapter 20 drainage district, a separate contract between the township and the Drain Commissioner's office will be developed. And that's what I have, and I'll turn it back over to Al. Continue our team approach.
Yep, thank you. All right, on our road improvements, we're aggressively improving the roads. We usually are budgeting between $600,000 and $1 million a year on the road improvements, using an asset management plan that they've got in place, which we're carrying forth with that. We're in cooperation with Monroe County Road Commission for our crack filling. We have them doing all that in planning. Now that Road Commission is taking over full responsibility of all the major primary roads, we can focus on a lot of roads that need attention in our township. You know, the developed program for 2021, the road committee is meeting, and we have budgeted for this year $900,000 for that. As far as the non-motorized improvements, a shoulder on Dixie Highway that's going, a bike path that goes from Point of Pole Road to Fermi Drive has been put in through a grant that we won, and we also are endorsing and participating in with the Monroe County, City of Monroe, Monroe Township on the grant application from SEMCOG to complete the new bicycle loop, extending the trail from 7th Street to Raisinville, North Custer, along the east side of North Custer to Munson Park, which will connect to the city trail. I think that's, when we did our survey, we have an awful lot of people that are really into the bikes and riding and needing this stuff and being safer, and I really think this is a very good thing that we want to keep pushing forward on. We want to thank you guys very much. It's been a pleasure. Looking forward to working with you all. And I also got a note here that I'm supposed to, Al, we do have more hardwares than you do. All right, thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker, the Supervisor of Bedford Township, Paul Peroni.
Thank you. Thank you, Chamber. I was a little worried about my pants not fitting me. It's been a long time for a meeting that we've had to put, nice pants on. Nobody can see my lower half on half the meeting. So it's nice to actually be in front of people. It's been a long time. It has been a rough year, and we would be remiss not to talk about it. Businesses have struggled more than ever, but I'm proud of our community. We always step up and work together and support our local businesses that support us, getting takeout and just whatever we can do to help, being creative. There's so many positive things that have come out of this year. Our board had to take swift action. As you know, state share revenue was looking like it was going to be a 40% reduction, which is a huge amount of money. So we looked to cut 40% out of our budget, and we were able to cut roughly $850,000 out of our budget, which I'm very proud of, without cutting services. Some of the things that we've done to prepare for that is with doing little things, being frugal. We have to be frugal in our communities. 4 years ago, my goal was to do that, and we've done LED lights in our fire department, our library, and our township hall, and upgraded our street lights. We're saving $3,000 a month on our street lights, $36,000 a year at the library, and roughly $15,000 a year at the township, and I'm not sure at the fire department yet. So the little things add up, especially in a large community. We have to be good at working with volunteers. We saved roughly $140,000 in the last 2 years utilizing volunteers. Our unions, local unions, have been great partners for this. The Sheriff's Department with the Red Shirt program continually helps out to offset costs. And your community does not, that doesn't go unnoticed to the community members. They see that. They see that you're going the extra mile to save money where you can. So we're continuing to work with our asset management plan with the Manikin Smith Group. We've been doing that for roughly 8 years now with them. And finally this year we're in a maintenance mode. We've been spending $1.2 million roughly a year out of our general fund to get our roads up to snuff. And this year we're only spending $140,000. So we're finally in that maintenance mode. And I'm excited for that because now we can actually take some of that money and stick it into some places that need it. School partnerships, we continue to partner with our schools with a liaison officer. We have a great partnership with that. We need to keep our schools safe. And I'm excited to work with our new sheriff, Troy Goodenough. You're doing an amazing job already in the short 30 days you've been in. Great programs already coming up with your 12-hour shifts you guys have been discussing. I'm super excited about it to get more bang for the buck and have people on the road for more hours, so I'm excited about that. Our downtown development program we put together for the Lewis Avenue Redevelopment Committee and downtown Temperance was a huge success story. We had Barron Insurance came to me 4 years ago telling me they were going to move to Lambertville, and I told them, give us a year to form a committee. We formed that committee. We went aggressively towards a grant through SEMCOG. We did our part. We got sidewalks, we got on-street parking, we beautified the four corners, and now we've had roughly 9 new businesses move into the downtown area. There's excitement. We have festivals happening. So we're going to continue doing that, but that's what we have to do. We have to do our part as a community, and others will do theirs. Commercial development. I'm excited about the water loop that's going to be happening. Our township put an extension underneath the tracks that has needed to happen for a long time. Bridgepoint Church was able to connect into that, and now South County Water is going to do a loop up to Samaria, down all the way to Samaria, heading west, and loop it up Secor Road. So that'll be huge for our community for growth and continuing and to get people that need water. Tractor Supply is open. Pinnacle Eye Group is opening soon, and the Temperance Animal Hospital is breaking ground. Ort Tool and Die is doing a 10,000 square foot addition, and Temperance Road Elementary School is now housing an IT company, La Scala IT. The building is zoned now professional business office, and we created a commercial rehabilitation district and made that tax exempt for them for 10 years to where they could stick all that money into the building to upgrade it for lights and making it more efficient. Another thing that's been amazing in our community is Little Blessings Veterans Outreach Program. If you've not heard of it or gotten involved with them, talk to Jamie. She's right there in the audience, and they are doing some amazing things for our veterans over at Duke Farms. I could go on, but I have to talk about our community too, so they're doing some cool things. Our fire department, we have 1 full-time fire chief, 7 full-time, 24 part-time, and 17 volunteers. We did 3,000 runs in 2020. We've upgraded our equipment. We do have a $1.3 million ladder truck that we just bought, and we are becoming an amazing fire department. So we are working on a police monument in front of the Township Hall, if anybody is interested in getting involved with that. I'm excited about that. The planning grant that was just awarded to the county through SEMCOG for $40,000 to put in a bike loop throughout the county to connect our communities. Biking is a huge industry in the county, so I'm excited about that. And then our DDA in Lambertville, we collect roughly $160,000 a year through a tax capture. So this year we're going to be sticking $15,000 more into lights. We're going to be upping the police protection in that area. And we're also looking at street lights at both entrances of Quail Hollow. We want to slow traffic down, so we were going to put up more traffic lights to do that. I want to highlight the Green Initiatives Committee. We have this committee that we formed to be green in our community. We have 35 parcels that are considered pocket parks and large parks. This committee was formed to create prairies, be creative for our cemeteries, and make things to where we don't have to cut so much grass. They just got an electronic recycling box out front of Township Hall to where people could take their batteries and stuff like that. So house starts, we've had 72 house starts this year with a total of $17 million in value. Last year was 78. And with each new house start, creates jobs, brings new students, increases tax base. We are working on Banner Oak School. We're looking at a new roof for Banner Oak School and to continue to upgrade. We got a grant through Monroe Museum. So it has been an interesting past year. We're looking forward to this year. A lot of positive things to come. So I want to thank you again for the time. And I'm probably under, ain't I? Yeah, so thank you guys very much.
Well, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, I'd like to thank all of our speakers today, and I will say in my, it feels like many years now of being up and emceeing this particular event, I want to thank all of them for acknowledging the time limits and being as close as possible. It's, I'll say, infrequent that we get to this point in the meeting without still prepared remarks going on. So I will say if there is anyone out in the audience, I know it's going to be a little tough for us to see or potentially hear you, but if there are any questions from the audience, we would consider those at this point in time. While you're thinking about that, I, again, just want to thank all of these individuals and the communities and the people that they represent for everything that they've done for the community throughout their careers, whether they be, I'll say, brand new for some that are up here and longer term for those that have been here. I think frequently these folks don't get enough, I'll say, accolades and thanks for the things that they do in volunteering for the community. As somebody who sees some of it behind the scenes, for some of them, it's a lot of hours, and I will say for many volunteer hours, or I'll say, in my opinion, low pay hours, and the things that they do for the community really, I think, should be appreciated. I know certainly on behalf of the Chamber, I can say that that's appreciated, and the partnership that goes into these kind of things is really the only way we'll be able to move things forward between the business and the government involvement, trying to move things forward for our community. So again, I want to thank all of you for your time here today, your time that you've put in over your careers and that we'll anticipate over your time in public service. I'll see if there are any questions out there from anyone in the audience today. Yes. Sure.
Sure, I'll make a comment. So festivals that are conducted in the city are, as in the past, they're not conducted by the city through the city funding. It's partnership
questions from those present? Oh, very good. For those that maybe couldn't hear the live streaming, the question was about festivals and those types of things in the community, particularly for Luna Pier in the city. And I think the response, if it couldn't be heard, was mainly evaluating, seeing as those private partnerships come forward, whether there'll be the possibility of doing that in light of, I'll say, COVID developments. And Mayor, you can tell me if that's a fair summary. All right. Any other questions from those with us today? If not, I'd also like to thank all those that joined us by live stream. We'll attempt to have this available as well for future viewing. Again, thank you to all those that were present today. We could not have these events without our sponsors. So again, we'd like to thank our series sponsors, Lazy Boy Incorporated, More Buds Law, Monroe County Community Credit Union, and the Manikin Smith Group. We'd also like to thank our silver sponsors today, ITC Holdings, First Merchants Bank, DTE Energy, Comcast, and James S. Jacobs Architects. And we'd also like to thank our breakfast sponsor, Tim Hortons. I'm sure some of our speakers would be willing to stick around for a few moments afterwards if we can keep it social distanced for communication. We would appreciate that, and we'd like to thank all of you for attending. We look forward to seeing you at a future chamber event, and thanks for joining us today.